of the people, 90.3 FM is 11 minutes gone past the hour of 7 p.m. I am actually glad to be right here with you in the studio, and trust me, quite a lot took place in the course of the day, the topical stories. And as you know, today is quite a unique day. It's a unique day, yes. Your usual Monday, Thursday, you know the usual, right? Well, it's an interesting day, like I said. My name is Esther Wachuku. Obviously, we're actually streaming this program live. Go onto your YouTube application, type on the search bar VOP 903 FM. Tell a friend to tell a friend that it's time for the evening rush, where we get to look at topical issues across Nigeria's socio-economic landscape. And we have somebody right here in the studio who will be giving us his own perception or comprehension of the situation. The idea is to intellectually edify ourselves, get your criticism, recommendation, and reaction to these issues. Barrister Darlington, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Welcome to the Evening Rush.
It's my pleasure.
I'm sure you're not surprised as to the conversations that we're going to be having this evening, yeah?
It's always the odd news. I won't be surprised.
You won't be surprised, Abby. You expected it. You always predict. There was a time I was like, can't this man ever, for once in his life, have something positive to say about this country? But it turns out
have anybody contradicted me?
It turns out to be that your statements most of the time always turns out to be true. Barrister Darlington Agumore, were you surprised as to what the Senate did today?
I wasn't surprised because I know they will protect their own. It's a man's word.
It's a man's world, right?
Yeah.
Do you think this is so sad? Do you agree with the allegation from the deputy chief whip that Natasha had actually threatened to disgrace Akpabio because she was, swapped to another committee? She wanted to be in the local government committee, and that she threatened to a particular Sani Musa that if Akpabio does not acquiesce to her demands, that she was going to disgrace him. And then the following day, she went on a Rise TV. But for her to have resubmitted that sexual harassment petition, despite, she did it the first time, she submitted the first time, she resubmitted it even when the Code of Ethics Committee refused to look into it. They said it was dead on arrival. She resubmitted it. Does it not tell you that Natasha was ready to go all out because she had her evidence? Why didn't they just try to look at it? Tell the Senate president, step aside, give it an interim of a month. But they just quashed everything down. And she's at the receiving end. 6 months suspensions, salary stripped off her, her security details stripped off her, her office closed, and she's not to come near any of the premises, close to the Senate premises in the interim of her suspension.
Esther, whenever you see couples fighting every night, especially midnight, and neighbors are always coming up, the man will be wearing boxers, the woman will be tying wrapper, and they will be fighting. The woman will rush out and be making noise. And the neighbors will say, madam, what happened now? What happened? We people are always fighting. What happened? The woman will say, ask him. They will not go to the man. Oga, what is the problem again now? You have started again. What is the problem this time around? Ask her. If you have sense, go to your room and sleep. They will never tell you what is the problem. All those ones you are seeing as smoke screen. There is something between Natasha and Akpabio.
And you think the husband is aware of it?
I said there is something between Natasha and Akpabio from the way she has been talking. She wouldn't have been talking like that if there was nothing, between them before now. It's just that something went sour. Maybe the demand was becoming too much.
Demand from who? Akpabio?
I think so.
Okay.
And then the woman felt, no, I can't cope. And then the man said, okay, all the privileges I gave you, I'm going to withdraw it. And that was what happened. So was she not enjoying the privileges? Remember what Ireti King said?
Yes.
That as a first-time senator, she's enjoying more privilege than those of them who have been there before. So what was the reason? And she was enjoying it, though. She didn't complain that time. Oh, you didn't know that when you collect something from the devil, there is a price to pay. You have to comply, because in APC, when they give you something, be sure Even remember that Natasha is not an APC leader. I hope you know that.
No.
So for her to be from a position party and they are giving that plea, then something is going on. That's the truth. It's just that she didn't know how to play her cards. Seriously.
What way was she supposed to play her card?
She had no emotional intelligence. The way she went out is very wrong.
Okay, how was she supposed to go about it?
The way she went out of her way to be talking and saying he will expose, he will do this, as if the world have not heard of it before.
Okay.
What was she trying to do? You know, this idea of sexual harassment, it has become the norm with women. Ordinary greeting now is sexual harassment. I'm not joking. So we are used to it.
Barrister, the women will come all out for you. The women will come all out for you.
Is it today? It's like this thing that you people always say that every time you say women were equal to the man, that what a man can do, a woman can equally do it. We discussed it on our TV show and I said, look, why do you want preferential treatment when it comes to electoral matters? You said what a man can do, you too, you can do better. Go out there and slug it out with men. If you win, you carry the trophy. Don't expect men to give you some soft landing because you're a woman. Are you not the one that said that you can match up with him? So all these things that you people, when it pleases you, you talk the other side. When it does not please you, now remember you're a woman. But when you are competing with the man, when you are talking, you will remember. But when the man said, okay, so we are equal lawyer, come, let us compete.
So, Barrister, what are you suggesting?
What
now?
I'm saying
are you saying that there's a possibility that she wasn't saying the truth? Or maybe according to what the Senate Chief Whip was saying, that they usually have light banter in the House and she misinterpreted some gestures?
A lady of that height cannot be sexually harassed.
So you're going with Florence Itagiwa?
It cannot be. It's not possible. There was something between them and she cannot deny it.
But for her to come out all out, she knows that if this matter had been investigated and she was lying, obviously she would have, her political career will forever be ruined. So if she did not have any evidence, what exactly was all of this all about?
Look, all this noise about sexual harassment, that's the only weapon she have here. You mean she didn't do any wrong? Is that what you're saying?
No, obviously for the fact that she did not go to the seat allocated to her, yes. But the thing is, if they were suspending her based on the fact that she did not obey the Senate standing rules originally, that's different. But the punitive measure is on the sexual harassment allegation.
Okay, hold on. Why is this thing coming up now that her privileges have been withdrawn? Have you asked yourself that question?
Privileges are withdrawn as part of the punitive measures now. Was it before the punitive measure? Was it before the gavel was handed down?
It was when she was removed from the committee she was heading. Is that not when this thing started?
And she was being investigated too.
So what are you saying? It was when she was withdrawn for the committee she was heading and all that.
But she said that on several occasions she had wanted to air her, the fact the Ajokuta still mind that she's been talking about, and then anytime she tries to speak, she will be quietened. They will subdue her, or they change her seat, or she's in a place where she cannot be seen. That she has approached the Senate president on several occasions, and he had actually told her that she knows what to do. She has spoken to people to speak on her behalf, but and she talked about the fact that in the night when she was asleep with her husband, she had received threats.
Hold on. You see, that's one of the things about women. They are always over-excited over nothing. You're a first-time senator and you want to do everything all at once. Why not cool down? You still have many years ahead of you in that Senate. Why not cool down? Why not cool down? You want to do Ajokuta. You want to do this. You want to show that you are wiser than everybody. Is that not what caused this problem? Why not be circumspect even in approaching issues? Like they say she was flouting, the Senate rules and all that. Agbabio said it now.
Yes,
there are rules.
Yes,
there are rules which she flouted. She flouted it flagrantly.
Don't you think the punitive measure should have been on that, and not on just not listening to her case, not investigating what she said, and then handing down the gavel?
Hold on, because she brought out other extraneous talks about other things that is unrelated to what the issue at stake, like this sexual harassment and all that. Why is it that whenever a woman wants to get at a man, the first thing is sexual harassment?
So you think that she had a personal vendetta against him to come up with that?
That is just the issue. If not, she would have been saying it before now.
So you don't believe all the allegation? You think there's a vendetta? There's something else.
There is some truth there, but the way she went about it, she have lost that truth. Now it's no longer about sexual harassment because nobody will believe her by the way she's going about it. Other things she did wrong, why is she not talking about it? Which is very clear. Let us not always say because the woman, therefore, whatever she says, we believe her. It's not always proper. Because when things were rosy between you and Akpabio, why didn't you say, no, I don't want this and that? Well, now that things are gone, so you're not telling us about sexual harassment. Are you sure? Can you swear that nothing has happened between two of you before? It's not possible now.
All right, let's take a listen to this.
Gentlemen of the press who are here. My name is Senator Yemi Adarabodu. I represent the South Central District of Ekiti State. I am eminently from Ekiti State. And consequently and subsequently, I am the spokesman for the 10th Senate of the 10th Assembly of the Federal Republic, National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Like Mr. Chairman has stated, I, as the image maker of the Senate, was seriously moved and quite discomfited with the state of the odious reputation that the Senate is degenerating into, and the public opprobrium that is being generated by the behavior of one of us at the plenary on February 20, 2025. And as the image maker of the Senate, I started receiving a lot of calls, both locally, nationally, and internationally, and even exponentially from even members of my own family, that what is happening in the Senate. It became quite very difficult for me to even address the deluge of those demands that I have to talk and tell the public what really happened. And on that said day, February 28th, Thursday, 2025, at the Senate, in the plenary, in the chamber of that day, that was almost a breakdown of law and order in the chamber. That there was almost a kind of legislative topsy-turvy. Because one of us, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, was vehemently opposing the directive that her seat has been changed to somewhere else within the chambers. And she was duly informed by the sergeant at her, but she did not go to that assigned seat. And when we go by our orders, because like I said on the floor of the Senate, when I was moving the said motion, that we have our standing orders, which are our rules, our statutes. It's our internal constitution. Because we are empowered by the various sections of the Constitution, that is the National Assembly, to make our own rules that will guide us, since we are not barbarians, since it is not an animal farm. And even in an animal farm, there is a modicum of decency and decorum. The standing orders clearly stated how, where, when, why a senator will behave in the chambers, even almost outside the chambers too, because it stipulated our actions at committee levels and then oversight functions. So, and going wherever you are in the Senate chamber, that you can raise up your heart to be recognized to speak. if it is like that, it means that the rest 108 can just be speaking from wherever. And then it means that any senator can be at Wuse Market and raise up his hand, and maybe through video coverage, and tell the presiding officer that I'm raising my hands up here. You have to recognize me. So that is kind of anomaly that order is trying to cure. And we all subscribe to our orders. So on the third day, there was an uproar because our own colleague, our dear colleague, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, refused to go to the seat that was newly allocated for her. And the Senate President, who was presiding that day, directed that she should properly sit where she is allocated to be before she can raise a point of order, because our colleague was raising a point of order hinging it on the permission, the express permission of Order 10.
Barrister Darlington, that's the Senate's image maker trying to possibly tell the press what precisely happened that day. Now, there's nothing wrong in his explanation. But when you say about when the Senate is handing down this gavel, Senator Godswill Akpabio, during the 9th Senate, when Saraki was the Senate president, did the same thing. Why was this kind of punitive measure not handed down on him? Is it because he's a man?
No, because his own did not generate to this level.
In what sense? He got up, approached the seat of the Senate president, complained that he was not being seen. He actually staged a walkout.
He never said somebody was sexually harassing him. He didn't say so. And he never went to any media house to denigrate the Senate president and the Senate. The way she went about
Will a man tell another man that you're sexually harassing me? These are old men who are big. It's not a child or a teenager.
That is it. He didn't say harassing him in any form and then begin to disobey whatever and start
President, did you know how how controversial the Senate headed by former Senate President Saraki was?
We all saw what happened. At the end of the day, what happened? The man was able to manage that Senate and he did well. He performed very well.
So if a punitive measure was not handed down on Senator Godswill Akpabio then, he staged a walkout, remember. How come this has been done on Natasha? Just because it's sexual allegation? Do you know how gruesome sexual allegation is?
Hold on. Do you remember that Akpabio later apologized? Is that not true?
Later.
But
he later apologized.
The fact remains that he did.
But in this case, there was no room for her to apologize before handing down the gavel?
No. She was given opportunity, but she...
No, they asked her to apologize, that she should rescind the statement. She should also apologize to the Senate for bringing it to disrepute. Don't you think the action of the Senate today has actually brought it to disrepute? You have Nigerians in diaspora who are watching the proceedings in the National Assembly. Nobody is discountenancing the fact that Senator Godswill Akpabio could actually be innocent. Yeah. But don't you think that with the heavy... do you know what it is to, as a Senate president, you're the double 03? Meaning that after the president and the vice, you're next in line. That is a heavy stain on yourself as a personality. Remember also that on Godswill Akpabio there is an antecedent. Joy Nunia, can you remember when she said she slapped him at the time? The House didn't consider to say, okay, you know what, let's just look in, even if they would pretend, even if they will not do anything, but pretend.
They want to bring sanity to the House because my dear, anybody could rise up and just begin to play the card of sexual harassment.
No, Barrister Darlington, what I'm trying to ask you is this. Somebody brought up such an egregious allegation to the House, to the face of the Senate President. There is a code of ethics committee. What they had said was they would not investigate the matter because no petition had been forwarded. A petition was forwarded and then you just said dead on arrival. You didn't look at it, you didn't consider it. What I'm trying to say is, considering how they usually do things here, they couldn't just pretend to say, okay, we will look into this.
That's what I'm telling you.
Pretend to say okay and then bring normalcy or sanity to the house like you just said.
Good. Then why didn't she send the petition before now? Yeah, that's why they said dead on arrival. You have already gone all over the place. You are going to court. You have done all the things you needed to do before now bringing. Are you not aware of what you're supposed to do? The first time this thing happened, I said, look, there are internal mechanisms to address this type of thing. So that we don't just say because a woman says something, all of us would not say, because she's a woman, therefore let us sympathize with her. No. I said, look, there are internal mechanisms. Why not exhaust it? Exhaust the internal mechanism. You didn't tell anybody, just like God did threat that they remove you from a committee chairman, this and that. If they do that, you are going to expose somebody.
That's what somebody is saying.
But I mean, from her action,
that could be the reason for her allegation.
But yes, but her reaction speaks volume. Her reaction speaks. The one she said, "I have lots of evidence." You were gathering this evidence, Abi, so that you can use it in future against the man.
So you're saying that there was a preemptive motion from her attitude towards the case?
It is very obvious, very obvious.
So you mean that she literally from the onset planned the blackmail?
Yeah, exactly, because she said she recorded, so you can see.
If it happened more than once, wouldn't you think of recording it?
I mean, what are you recording it for? So that we'll do what?
Because of cases like this, to the fact that this is what has been going on, and then she needed to present herself.
Look, my dear, for a lady of that height, there are ways of avoiding this thing without making all this noise. She's not matured. She's emotionally weak.
So you're going with Florence Itagiwa?
Her emotional intelligence is very weak.
You're going with Florence Itagiwa then? That
yes,
for Senator Akpacha to have come up with that Natasha thought that she's weak.
Of course. That's the truth. That means she can't even lead. Do you know what other people go through and then they weather it and move on?
Why should women go through this?
Which other women?
I'm just saying. In a society run by men.
There are people that go through worse and they weather it and move on.
So you're saying she shouldn't have come out, she should have weathered, she should have endured, she should have kept quiet?
The way she went about it is wrong. It doesn't make her a hero now. It doesn't. I said there are people who have gone through.
Okay, what way should she have gone about it, Barrister Darlington, that you think was better than this?
Listen. If this woman had a strong emotional intelligence, she would have taken it calmly.
Okay.
Bid her time.
She said she has been enduring it.
No. Go to where she was at to sit. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Okay.
It will not stop her from being a senator. She will equally make her mark. It's a matter of time because she's just a first timer. It's a matter of time.
But she said it has been happening for a while. That she kept quiet because of the relationship that her husband has with the man.
It is her word against that of Akpabio.
Okay, can you tell me how she should have gone about it? What kind of emotional maturity she ought to have displayed in this without calling him out?
She can still do her work without making all this noise. The man will get it. It dive slowly.
What work? She said the man refused to give her listening ear. She said that the man keeps on saying that you know what to do and all what not. So and she has not been listened to. She tried to speak. He doesn't listen to her. What other way?
Let her keep quiet then. After all, all the senators in that day were not speaking out.
No, I'm not talking of even speaking. Speaking out in the house per se. Exactly. She should have kept quiet where?
By the time you ignore the man one or two times, he will get tired now.
You're not understanding. It's not about ignoring the man. It's about the fact that she has constituents that she's representing. She has to present cases in their interest.
Are you serious?
She needs the house to listen to it and pass the bill.
So true.
Based on the fact that she has been trying and the man is not giving any listening ear, right now she feels because the man has made several, passes at her.
Esther, you are aware that the electoral bill was there for almost how many years? Men were passing that bill. It never flew. It did not fly. Why didn't they raise alarm and say nobody listening to them and all that? Look, when it comes to these matters, my dear, it is patience. I'm not joking. I'm telling you for a
Barrister Dancy, do you know what a lot of women have gone through in silence? And no, let's be realistic. Agreed, you say she's somebody of, affluence and she's got that level. and then thank God she's married and possibly she has a man who is protecting her. There are other women who don't have men protecting them, women who do not have that affluence. What you're categorically saying is that if a woman who doesn't have the affluence, doesn't have the connection, doesn't have anybody to back her up or support her, something like this happens to her, she should keep quiet, she should weather it, she should soldier it in silence, that at some point she will eventually get what she deserves, but she should suffer in silence. I'm just saying, if you've tried every other measure and it did not work.
Good. Esther, are you telling me that there are no men in that house that have suffered more degrading treatment?
We've not seen
Natasha?
any of that.
Are you
now.
that's what I'm saying.
We've not seen any of that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But they kept quiet. That's what I'm saying. They kept quiet. They kept quiet. So why is she raising hell? Because she was asked to go to a seat and all that.
A couple of people will say you don't have regard for women, you don't have sensitivity towards women.
Are you serious?
Some people will say that you are not being objective.
I've had it before. We are being objective here. I've had it before. Esther, please, if we begin to talk about this thing, it will not end today. But what I'm saying is that most times, women should be circumspect when addressing their issue. They should not be overbearing, thinking that because they are making too much, they must get their way. Everything they say, we must adhere to it, or else the hair will fall. And that's what I'm saying here. Yes, she should have been.
You sound unlike Barrister Darlington.
What are you saying? I am telling on this particular case, I am saying what I know is the truth. She should have gone about this thing in a more modest way and still get result. That's what I'm saying. King Gibe has been there now.
King said she has never experienced anything like what Natasha is saying.
So then, has she not been talking? I mean, is she overbearing and deciding what will happen and what will not happen? That's what I'm saying. I said if Natasha has emotional intelligence, this thing wouldn't have happened. Okay, it's a question of approach.
Now that you're an analyst on the program today, what way would she have handled this without coming out to say what she said? What way would she have been heard? What way would her bill have been passed?
I am coming now. Okay. Every bill in that house have not been passed. Okay. So her own cannot be singled out that it must be passed. That's what I'm saying. There are bills that have even came before she came to that house now. There are bills that are pending. The people that presented did they force the Senate chairman that this thing must be passed to? That's what I'm telling you now. If you did, then relax. At appropriate time, you raise it again. That's what I'm saying. That for you to say, I've not been heard, I must talk. What kind of thing is that? You keep quiet now and let the appropriate time come. Then you do the needful. That's what I'm telling you now. Yeah. She has been going about trying to be, carry activism into the Senate house so that people will know that she's this thing. No. You have done your political campaign. It is over. This is a Senate house. There are decorum there. You must follow that decorum.
Barrister, let me ask you a question.
Hold on.
Okay.
Agbabio said that she flattered the Senate rules, standing rules. Is that not true?
Yes.
Why must she do that? Just to show that she's
nobody is saying that Natasha is completely innocent. She went against the Senate standing rules.
So why?
She should have sat down in the seat that she was supposed to sit.
So why did she refuse?
Sexual allegation is a very huge deal.
Well,
Barrister, if you have a daughter,
they have been harassing us. They have been harassing us too.
If you have a daughter, if you come out and express yourself, people will pay attention to you, which is what she has done. What we are saying now is this: is the manner with which the House swept it under the carpet without even considering.
Because she didn't look, oh God, get it right. She didn't follow the rules. The first day this happened, I said, has she exhausted all the internal mechanism to address this issue? She did not. Esther. She did not. She thought that when she make noise to the press and do whatever, then people will now come to her aid. No, that's not how things are done. All this harassment, have you people not been harassing us?
Barrister Darlington, when men are not comfortable with certain things, they can express themselves and the society will not frown at it. But if a woman expresses herself right now, you say that it should be a method with which she should react. Who wears the shoes know where the shoes pinches. There are mechanisms for addressing that. That's what I'm saying. She did not exhaust it. If she has, then I would have been said, okay, why didn't they listen to her ab initio? But are you sure she had not tried other mechanisms? I said that what they told her, that her petition is dead on arrival, because it was after all the damage had been done that she now brought the petition. Is that not what happened? All right, Pastor Darlington, let's listen to this.
So next time, follow the rules. After there were women in that house before you came. There were women in that house before you came. What happened to them that they were not behaving like you or now, whatever? What happened? You now ask yourself that question. There are women in that house before you came. So why are those women not behaving like you?
Okay. All right. Let's listen to this.
Because as a first-time comer,
your denial, your refusal to accept and treat my petition before the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges and Abuse of my privileges, and I say forth that this matter is not subject. It is not before the court. The matter before the court is on the defamation and cyberbullying statements made by your special assistant on new media, Mr. Patrick Umforum, who addressed my decent outfits as transparent, thereby depicting that I walk sedulously and naked to the chambers. That is the nature of the petition of the case in court.
Now, what happened was they're saying that the case is whatever being dead on arrival is sub judice because that case is already in court. She was trying to clarify that what is in court is against one of the senators who said that her outfits was transparent and that she was walking seductively and naked towards the Senate president, and that is what she took to the court, meaning that it's unrelated to the current case against the Senate president. So the fact that they are saying that case is sub judice does not apply because the case is not correlated. It's not correlated. That's basically what she's saying. Because obviously she had her own lawyer who told her what to do for her to have presented this matter. That when you say sub judice, the fact that the case particularly tied to Godswill Akpabio is not the case that is in court. It is the wife who actually took the case to court and said for defamation of character and character assassination on her husband, which obviously, according to Natasha Apoti, the wife is not the factor to be considered here. It is the husband. So the husband should speak for himself. So there is no seat or standing for sub judice. That's basically what she was trying to clarify. But the thing is, the House did not even try. At least nobody is saying that Senator Natasha is right. Godswill Akpabio is innocent until proven guilty. So good. She has come to allege a very huge one, that if it's found not to be true, it is political suicide, not on her person, on everything that has to do with her and all those that support her, and even for her political ambition or her political career. So for her to have risked that, it tells you that this woman knows what she's been going through. Why didn't the House just try to be civil and say, okay, you know what, fine, let's take the case, let's just look at it and continue. Go give your punitive measure on the fact that she did not obey the Senate standing rules. Your punishment should be based on that, not on the sexual harassment allegation. I don't know if you understand my drift here, my train of thought here.
What prompted all this brouhaha? What prompted it? Before the aide of Akpabio started tweeting, something started from somewhere now. Remember, you cannot separate it. There was the genesis of this matter. You cannot separate it, no matter how you try to, be logical here. Something prompted this thing. The aide did not just wake up and started tweeting whatever. Something started it. There was something that started it. So you cannot discountenance that. But what I'm saying, I keep saying it, is that there is a way this woman would have handled this and still achieve a very good result. In fact, people will applaud her. She did not apply emotional intelligence. I keep saying it, and that's a fact. Because there have been other women in that house before she came, and they have been doing so well. I remember when there was an altercation between Wilson Wike and Ireti Kingigbe. She came to the house, and we all saw how she presented her case and all that. And at the end of the day, Wike even started listening to what she was saying and started making amendments. Esther, is that not true? Is that not true?
Yes.
So what are you saying? He listened to her and then started making amendments. Why didn't the King Igbe go all out and say Wike is harassing her? Harassing her, instead of facing the real issue? I'm telling you what I know. So nobody should talk otherwise. It's just that Nigerians, we run with emotion. Whenever an issue comes up, we not look at the news behind the news. Everybody just because it's a woman, therefore she's beautiful, she has a good looks, and so because of that, men must be. Who told you that every man is interested in a beautiful face? Who told you that? Even when there should be no accusation, you people will bring it up just to score a cheap point. It doesn't fly. I just told you here, is she the only woman in that house? The answer is no. So why other women not being harassed? They were there before her. And I just gave you an example here. Ireti Kingwe has fought more battles than her. And we didn't hear this type of thing. And she won. Esther, she won against Wike. So what are you telling me? She didn't handle it very well. That's what I'm saying. She didn't. If she did, there would all these rockers wouldn't have come up. So let nobody be deceived.
All right, Barrister Darlington, thank you for your own angle or perception to this. Obviously, we'll be looking into it as time goes by. Now, the Onitsha market that was locked down due to fake drugs. Well, NAFDAC has reopened Onitsha market, confiscated over 50 trailers of fake drugs. Now, when these shops were being closed, a couple of persons are judged it to be unfair, possibly because of the geographical location there. They feel it was a deliberate target to stifle the economic activities in the region. Would you say that this particular exercise should cut across board, and those who actually those who buy or import this should try to be genuine in the purchase of the product? Because right now, health is the how our health sector is. So how would you react to this?
In fact, I doff my heart for that woman for what she did. Because under Dora Akunyili, it was the same people that she fought, and they almost killed her. In fact, they shot at her, but the bullet slightly missed her. All because she's fighting fake drug. People may not understand the impact of fake drug in the life of Nigerians. Most of the disease people are suffering today is as a result of fake drug that they took without knowing.
Okay.
Yeah, without knowing. And so people have said, look, this thing is wrong. We cannot be taking poison in the name of drugs. We can't. And somebody is trying to clean up the system. And people are opposing her. For what? You that is a merchant of death, you know what you are doing. Did anybody come and say that, no, these drugs are not fake? Did any of them come to say, look, when they were accusing Dangote of producing a fake fuel, she now said, they come and test it. Come and test my fuel if it is fake and compare it with the one you are importing. Is that not how that argument ended? So the people should have told NAFDAC, please come and test this our drug and see whether it's fake. That would have ended the discussion now. But they cannot, because they know what they are doing. They go and ask them to reduce the quality of the drug. And when they come here, they sell it in the name of original drugs, making millions and billions out of us, out of our misery. Is that how to make money? The real merchants are in Onitsha. So if they can get Onitsha and they do matter, in fact, they would have cut it by 80%. That's the truth. And unfortunately, they are my people. Unfortunately, they are my people. Why would you be trading? If you sell original drug, what will happen? What will happen? Even when you go and you see the original, you now go and in your shop. Some people are producing drugs in their shop without no quality control, nothing. They just couple things and then put it somewhere, then label it and then change the expiry date of drug. Is that... Look, that woman should be protected. Let her continue with what she's doing.
All right.
How can you say because you are helping to mitigate the scarcity of drugs and therefore you now bring fake drug? Instead of buying fake drug, let us know that there's scarcity of drugs. Now leave it. Right. Because the fake drug you are bringing have not helped any case. That you are worsening the health situation.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Evening Rush right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Machikwan. You've been listening to the voice of Barrister Darlington Agumore. There's a lot to talk about. We just finished speaking on Natasha Akpoti and the Senate handing down the gavel, suspending her for 6 months, and the case was not looked into. Obviously, you heard the Senate spokesperson, that is the media representative of the Senate, to give his own perspective, narrative of what transpired in the House. You heard Senator Natasha Akpoti also defending herself and why that case is not sub judice. I'm sure you heard Barrister Darlington's purview of the entire matter. And obviously from there we shifted on to the fact that NAFDAC has reopened Onitsha market. Also used the same opportunity to confiscate over 50 trailers of fake drugs. Barrister Darlington said it's a good measure. She should do more. Now let's look at the former ex-minister of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is Minister Uju Ohaneye. She was the former Minister of Women Affairs. Well, the EFCC today grilled her for hours. You know that she was sacked by the president, and the question is on her alleged role in misappropriation, violation of procurement process, and diversion of public funds to the tune of 188,413,253 naira 89 kobo in the course of disbursing the 2023 budgeted funds to the ministry. Now, Kennedy Ohaneye arrived at the commission headquarters around 11 this morning, and she's been facing interrogators on her alleged involvement in the fraud. Investigations by EFCC show that funds donated for the funding of PBAD Cares for Women initiative were diverted for her self-enrichment. Investigations, however, are still ongoing, and she has not been admitted to administrative bail. Barrister, since this story came up, you know, the case of Yahaya Bello came on board. The money that Yahaya Bello is accused or allegedly diverted or misappropriated is over 100 billion naira, 80 billion plus. And this case with Uju Ohaneye is about that is the entire money is 188,413,000. Now, you remember when Uju Ohaneye was there, she was always questioning programs that were organized on with her name when she was not carried along, and that she felt these were the persons who did not like what she was doing. She also talked about the mass marriages that was conducted where she considered to be underage girls being married off to mature men. And before you know, it was an issue. These were the issues she felt that some people were not happy that she was bringing to the challenges she was bringing to light. Do you think this is a deliberate effort to completely tarnish her person? Why has EFCC not carried on such investigative measures against other politicians or ministers as well?
Yeah, in fact, that's where what I don't understand about EFCC. I've said it before and I'm saying it again. If they are not ready to fight corruption, let them close shop so that we know that we don't have EFCC. But for this selectivity, count me out. This is persecution, not prosecution, because there are people who have done worse things before her, and nobody. Sadia Farouk is there, Beta Edu is there, and their money is far ahead of what this one was alleged to have misappropriated. So, is it that they want to tell her that you are not a saint? You have been playing the role of is it Robin Hood now or who? So let us see now whether there is something under you that we can hold on to. And they now opened the skeleton in her cupboard, and her cupboard and skeleton started coming out. So what I'm saying in essence is that it is wrong. It is wrong. That means you are not doing justice here, because the woman will be asking herself, "Come, these other people that happened before me. What happened to them? Are they not a woman like me, this and that? Because they are well connected or something like that." So it will be going on in her mind. So EFCC, I am not amused. I'm not joking. I'm not amused. You people are selective in your approach to fighting corruption. Very, very selective.
A lot of persons have been calling out EFCC lately to what they consider selectivism or selectivism in the cases. For example, the case of Mudashiru Obasa, all the financial misappropriation and all whatnot, they expected the EFCC to look into it. But then they'll say a petition was not sent to the EFCC, so they cannot look into it.
It's a lie. Hold on. When they closed Obasa's account, 3 of us is the account that has humongous amount of money in them. That was, last year, early last year. Was it by petition or what? Is that not enough to call him to order? But because some powers behind him will not allow you to probe Obasa. It's as simple as that. Just watch. Whenever they leave office now, all these people will be called in. You now ask yourself, why didn't you call them when they were in office? At least immunity did not cover them. So that is it. The moment they lose the backing of their godfather, maybe that time EFCC wake up. They wake up that time and start pursuing everybody as if they just saw the corruption.
Barrister Darlington, the U.S. Supreme Court has ordered President Donald Trump to release frozen foreign aid of close to $2 billion to Nigeria and others. This was in a 5-4 decision. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled on Wednesday evening that the Trump administration must release withheld payments to foreign aid organizations for work already completed. The ruling upholds an order by U.S. District Judge Amir Ali, who directed the administration to promptly disburse nearly $2 billion in funding owed to contractors and grant recipients of the U.S. Agency for International Development and the State Department, that's USAID. Meanwhile, conservative Justices Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, all of them are saying that the court should give the time to review the administration's request to block the ruling. So, do you think that the U.S. Supreme Court has done right by asking that these frozen funds be released to the countries, including Nigeria, whereby, based on their own investigations, there were allegations that these funds were used to sponsor terrorism-related activities in some countries, specifically Nigeria, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, and all whatnot? How will you react to this U.S. Supreme Court ruling?
In fact, I am very, very happy with that ruling. It showed that, yes, truly, America is a democracy to be emulated. I can't imagine such a thing happening here. I said I cannot imagine such a thing happening here. I can't imagine any court going against Tinubu in this country. It will never happen, no matter how bad it is. So what are you saying? Are you telling me that if it were an American Supreme Court that was ruling over a presidential election, and then some damaging documents were brought, the court will say, no, it came too late. We cannot entertain it in the U.S. You know it's not possible. They would have opened those documents and see what is inside and use it against whoever, is against.
Do you think Trump will obey the Supreme Court order by ensuring that his administration releases those paused funds? Because this is from the Department of Government Efficiency, that's DOGE, right?
Yes.
Headed by Elon Musk. And they had to carry out investigation as to where are the taxpayers' money of Americans going through these agencies that are securing aids to countries that are going through hunger, humanitarian issues, terrorism, and all whatnot. And if they've done their investigation and realized that a huge chunk of the money is being used by these countries either for selfish needs, and they are not seeing any actionable project, they are not seeing any developmental strides being used with the money, they're only seeing pictures of persons, but they're not really seeing any actionable thing, and the Supreme Court is giving this ruling, what does it tell you?
It tells you that somebody meant business.
Who means business here?
That is Donald Trump. But the court is here to checkmate him, not even the American Congress. That is it. The court, that's why they call it the last hope of the common man. They were there to checkmate him. And they have done the need because that DOG is unconstitutional.
Department of Government Efficiency,
yes.
to ensure that there are no excesses in how funds are utilized, and not take the treasury of the United States of America for granted, where they're bringing America first. The department is checkmating where a lot of their funds are going.
You see, look, Esther, whatever you are doing in life, no matter how good it is, let it follow due process. Let it follow the rule of law. Let it follow constitutional provisions. The moment you go against it, whatever you are trying to accomplish will be null and void. That DOGE is unconstitutional. Even the staff, they have gone to court. The American citizens have gone to court over that particular department because you are now jettisoning constitutionally established government department and ministries in place of DOGE. How? That is the problem with Donald Trump. He feels he can bulldoze his way. He forgot that he's in America. No matter what you do, the court will checkmate you. Because if you destroy the bastion of democracy, then what hope is left for the other component units?
If we bring this back to pari passu with the judgment handed down at the House today on Senator Natasha Akpoti, would you say that due diligence wasn't done? Because for Obi Ezekwesili, she's saying, did she just hear the voice of a senator say she's not coming back to the Senate? And then she went ahead to tweet, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, you have inspired a generation, you have inspired all credible citizens, you will never work alone, which obviously got a lot of reaction. So in this particular instance, if we combine both what the Supreme Court in the United States of America has done, and what the National Assembly right here in Nigeria has done, this brings me back to the question, don't you think due diligence should have been done to clear out any doubts or clear out the speculation that, or even the hint that there's a possibility that what Natasha is alleging is true?
She had the opportunity of going to court. Some of her matters are in court. Let her go and slug it out there. I think that is the only option she have now. So I don't want her to dwell too much on that because
I brought it because there's a comparison between what transpired today at the Supreme Court.
That is the Senate,
yesterday,
not the court. That's the Senate. That's not the Senate have their own standing rule.
Okay.
Not the court of Nigeria.
Okay.
It is their own internal matter. That's what I'm saying. It is their internal matter. So if anybody go against their internal rules and regulations, they will sanction the person. That's the only way to maintain sanity in that house. Because if you allow it, anybody can turn that place into, Oshodi market and all that. So you have to comply with the rules and regulations. Look,
if we want to look at senators that have been suspended in the House, there are quite a couple of them. She's not the first senator who has been suspended in the House. Senator Ningi was suspended. Exactly. The former Senate Chief Whip, Ndume, has also been suspended over a couple of other issues and all whatnot.
So you're aware of all these things? You are aware? So why are we saying as if the Senate have committed the worst crime on earth?
No, what we are all asking is, with that kind of egregious allegation, at least they could have pretended to look at it.
There is nothing grievous about it. It's just that her word against Akpabio. Abi?
Yes.
It has not been subjected to forensic interrogation to know who is telling the truth or not. Because that's the only weapon any woman has. Whenever a matter is involving a woman and a man, instead of looking at the issues, sexual harassment will be the first thing. I don't want us to dwell on that so much before we now destroy ourselves. These are one of the reasons why you have misogynists in the society, those who hate women.
You say you don't want us to dwell on it so that we'll not destroy her. How will we destroy ourselves? We did National Assembly.
Have you people not been offending us? Have you been going to court and doing whatever? Have you not been offending us? Even you people committed the worst offense against humanity, if you come to that. Yes, you women, yes. I said yes. Go back to history now. What happened? Wow. You cannot talk about that, Abi. When Adam left you in the house, what did you do? And brought all of us into a problem. You have forgotten that, Abi.
So that's why you blame the woman now for
no,
this?
I should blame myself. Do you know what would have happened to mankind if that mistake was not made by Eve? Do you know what would have happened? Tell me.
Brother Darlington, the federal government has placed Simon Ekpa and several other individuals and entities on the Nigeria sanctions list over alleged involvement in terrorism financing. The decision was announced today and it follows recommendations by the Nigeria Sanctions Committee after a high-level meeting in Abuja. According to the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the action is in line with Section 54 of the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022, which empowers the government to impose sanctions sanctions on individuals and organizations linked to terror-related activities. They disclosed that the Attorney General of the Federation, with the approval of President Bola Tinubu, authorized the designation of the individuals and entities leading to their official inclusion in the Nigerian sanctions list. So, as part of the enforcement measures, authorities have been directed to identify, freeze all funds, assets, and other economic resources linked to the sanctioned individuals and organizations without prior notice. So, they include that of Simon Ekpa, that of his organization, and about 16 others. How would you react to this?
They made a mistake.
Really?
That list is not complete.
They brought out Banco, Simon Ekpa and Joko, it was the several bank accounts that he has, God's Time Promise Iyari, Francis Chukwedo Madu Abuchi, John Anayo Onwumere, Chikuka Godwin Eze. All these are the individuals. They feel their accounts is linked to terrorism-related activities, and all these accounts have been frozen, officially sanctioned. The president has approved all of that.
Are you serious? These are the people they notice or they identified as sponsoring terrorism.
And all of them are all from the southeast.
Yes, now that's why I told that list is not complete, because there was another 400 names.
Do you think these are the names of those who are part of the Biafran government in exile? These are the group of persons that their accounts have been frozen?
No, let us even leave those people they mentioned. There was 400 names that have been pending. That
the United Arab Emirates sent to Nigeria.
Up to today, what happened to that list?
And even their names.
Rufai told you how he was going to pay terrorists somewhere in the Sahel to stop killing Nigerians. In 2018 or so, the late Pa Adebanjo and Edwin Clark and other elder statesmen all over Nigeria, they sued Buhari to court for 50 billion naira for being the head of insecurity in Nigeria.
The question is, if they could track the accounts of these individuals, one person here has about like 8 account numbers. Why do we still have insecurity bedeviling us here? Look at the tracking. These are all the accounts. Their names, everything. Why do we have insecurity bedeviling us here?
By that list, I am not. Everybody knows. From what they did now, they are even embarrassed themselves. Because people were asking questions. So these are the only people you know. The 400 names, what happened to them? The 400 names, what happened to them? These people now, in what way are they sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria? Because IPOB, the organization, is not a terrorist organization.
They didn't mention IPOB here.
They said the organization.
They didn't mention IPOB. It says Simon Ekpa.
Which other organization is operating from? Or which?
It's not with IPOB. Simon Ekpa is Biafran government in exile.
Are you serious?
IPOB is more powerful. It's different. Okay, Simon Ekpa has always differentiated it. That is what he does is not of IPOB. Okay, it's Biafran government in exile.
Okay,
and they didn't mention IPOB here, but they mentioned Simon Ekpa and several other individuals and entities on the Nigerian sanctions list. Where I actually agree with you is, where are the other names?
So,
if the Nigerian Financial Institution, if the Nigerian Investigation Unit actually know how to go, that's the Nigerian Intelligence Agency. Like you said, where are the 400 names? All the account numbers of these terrorists that have been taking a lot of people over, monies are being sent to them. How come those ones have not been accounted for and their names released? If there's supposed to be a compilation of names of these kidnappers and their accounts from 2022, those names have not been released. So the big question is that, how come we're not having more of this, at least every 3 months or 4 months being released and telling us that the assets are being frozen? Nobody is looking at any geographical location, but we're looking at a situation where it is more than this.
Because nobody wants to tell you the truth. All these things they are all charade, because they want the world to believe that they are fighting terrorism. But in reality, are they? Because when our soldiers, apprehend these terrorists, overpower them, and bring them to book, the federal government of Nigeria will now reinstate them back to the same military and into the society. So what have you done? Yeah? So the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, the story have not been told, though. The story have not been told. And I know that one day, just like Babangida have done, somebody will write a book and tell us the whole story. I'm not joking. I know that at a point, your conscience, conscience is the worst thing that can, judge a man. Your conscience. No matter how powerful you are, by the time you lay down on your bed in the night, your conscience will be troubling you for what you did, whether you like it or not. So you got to the turn of somebody to write a book on this insecurity, because it started from somewhere.
Let's look at this before we open the phone lines, because we already have a lot of people wanting to be part of the conversation. A former deputy national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Bode George, has warned against allowing former Vice President Atiku Abubakar to emerge as the party's presidential candidate for the fourth time in 2027. He's insisting that such a move would spell doom for the opposition party. And he's also saying that it is important. He criticized Atiku for sidelining the South in the build-up to the 2023 presidential election, a move, according to him, led to the resentment within the party and triggered the rebellion. G6 governors led by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, then he was the governor, and that he warned it would be a slap and an act of cheating for another northerner to secure the PDP ticket in 2027. So apparently he's also suggesting that Peter Obi should be brought in from the Labour. Peter Obi should be brought in to be with the PDP, that Obi cannot win without the People's Democratic Party in 2027 if he indeed indicates interest to campaign. What would you say to this?
It is left for Nigerians.
Nigerians, ke?
Yes.
Nigerians for who?
If they want this thing to continue, this infamy, no problem. But if they want a true change, nobody will tell them to look in the direction of P2B. It's not even Bodeja that is saying it.
No, but now the Labour Party is not living up to expectation as they were in 2023.
Labour Party.
So they're saying if Peter Obi should join the PDP, then he has a strong footing to campaign in 2027.
Look, the people, there is no membership of a political party is not cast on stone.
Okay.
They can move within 1 hour to a new party or a new platform. So if P2B chooses to go to PDP based on the fact that they have a structure all over Nigeria, it will help him.
You think so?
It will.
Even with the current situation within the PDP itself?
It will help you. All the we needed in PDP is for people to rally around the P2B.
You think his supporters would like him to join the PDP?
Because the supporters they are featherweight too. They don't have a strong bone to challenge what is going on now. I'm talking of those who can spend trillions and trillions of naira. With the level of poverty in this country, they can buy every Nigerian to vote for them. The money is there. So
you're speaking of the current administration has the money to buy.
Of course, because we then want to know that with money you can buy the police, buy the military, buy INEC, buy anything. So who has the money now to do all that one? Who?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take your calls. Okay, it's time for us to get your reaction and your messages. First of all, the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338 and the number to call is 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. While the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Please, can I have the phone, please? 0817-1756-338. That is the WhatsApp number. You can send your messages in there, and then you call the number 080-3692-9933. Thank you very much. All right, we're already getting calls. Hello, good evening. How are you? Yes, can you hear me? Hold on, please. Let's connect this. Yes, good evening. How are you? Hello? Can you hear me? Good evening.
I can hear you.
Good evening. Thank you. Oh, you're calling from Port Harcourt. Thank you very much. How are you?
Yes, calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, concerning what you are talking in the studio there, concerning my sister Natasha, Barrister, kept on comparing apples and with oranges, all in Ireti Kingibe. But Barrister forgot that Ireti Kingibe's issue was quite different from what Natasha is passing through. You understand, Barrister? You say yesterday, why didn't she accuse yesterday of harassing her sexually? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. if it had happened, she would have presented it also. so Barrister, what happened to Joy Nune? So we are doing all
I
this.
asked him that already.
What happened to Joy Nune, who also even went as far as telling Nigerian that she gave Ababi a very hot and dirty slap.
Okay.
What happened? You know, go and check Joy Nune's record. If you are saying about Natasha because she looks so flashy, because is it because she's beautiful? Go and check Joy Nune. Joy Nune she's a mother. She has come of age. Go and check her track record.
Natasha too is also a mother.
After how many husbands?
Yeah, I know. I understand. Vice was, calling it because she's beautiful.
No, Joy Nune. After how many husbands? Talk.
Barrister.
Tell me now, how many husbands did she marry?
So in other words, what does that mean? Does that disqualify the fact that she slapped Akpabio, gave him a hot and dirty slap over sexual harassment?
Does that not water down her claim?
Anybody can say anything. When we begin to wash all this dirty linen, a lot of things will come out of it.
Okay, Barrister, do you know Akpabio is never a man. Any serious nation can have a Senate president.
But he's your Senate president.
No, because it's not by our making.
Are you serious?
All right, let's take more calls. Okay, thank you very much.
You didn't hear what the wife. You didn't hear what Akpabio's wife said about him, Abi. You did not hear.
Your wife could have also said
yes, now it is your word against their own. Yes, and everybody can defend his or her own. What do you expect?
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Choma.
No, my name is Esther Mwachuku, not Choma. Yes, sir.
Esther Mwachuku.
Yes, sir.
Mwachineke.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. This is Paul from Egbeda.
All right, Paul.
And good evening to Barrister Darlington, my favorite barrister.
Okay.
But this night, I have to disagree with you in so many things.
No problem.
But anyway,
No problem.
Yeah.
After all, Lucifer disagree with God.
Subjective, sir. It's subjective. Lucifer disagree with God is subjective. So, number one, Natasha, she has a case and she says she has proofs. I am asking her to place those proofs in the public space. The social media is available. She doesn't. The Senate cannot stop her from using social media, or even going to the media houses to also place those things. Because before a trained lawyer could come out, she knows the implication. As an educated woman and as a lawyer and as a senator, no matter how stupid or reckless one wants to be, there is something she needs to protect. And she can't rubbish her law this thing, because if she has lied, it can go as long as this thing can drag to her losing her call to bar. Exactly. That's true. So she has proofs, and these proofs have been shut down. The only pain I wept today is that the Nigerian people, especially the men, believe that they have authority over women. And it is not true. I am one of those who will be available to protest in the streets of Lagos against the manhandling of the women in Nigeria. When Monica Lewinsky accused
Bill Clinton,
Bill Clinton, if it was in Nigeria, in fact, you people will shut her down. But even the president denied at first, but interrogation was set up, a committee was set up. At the end of the day, the man was found guilty. So nobody should crucify this young lady. This is the way she chose to show it, and she has shown it. And we know that she's not the first that have accused Senator
Godswill Akpabio.
Godswill Akpabio is not the only senator in Nigeria. The only senator in Nigeria. Why is it that every accusation is bent on him? Why? He was the one slapped, and up to today he has never reacted to that slap. That is the one that was speaking. They say, Honorable Minister, off your mic, and the case died today. So nobody should blame that woman. She has played the card the way she wants to play it. The Nigerian women, especially the women.
Thank you very much. I think Barrister Darlington is actually speaking the minds of a couple of people. So, like people said, they will have different opinions. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
Barrister Darlington, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
God will bless you.
Amen.
You know we are having problem with this woman. Inside all the whole senators, nobody support this woman. That is the way I'm having problem with this
Exactly.
woman. For you to know that this woman has served on several souls in that place. Nobody support this woman.
Yes, even her fellow women.
Even her fellow women inside that place. Even she herself was saying in television that she's surprised that the remaining 3 women, nobody said anything. She said it because when you look at this thing very well, you'll find out that it's like they have been watching her for a very long time. Every senator there, they have been watching her. It's not that I'm supporting her, I'm supporting Senator Fabio. But what they have, I expect them to do is for them to investigate this matter very well and to know who is wrong and to know who is right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Hello,
Esther,
sir.
is it not God that placed men as the head?
So, if God places men at the head,
then we should lead.
Okay, so if somebody is being harassed, somebody is being abused, somebody is being emasculated, the person should not voice out because God has made men to lead.
Look, all these things you people are raising, have you subjected it to legality?
No, I'm trying to relate it with what you just said now.
What she said is a word against her.
Okay, fine. When you say God has made men to lead, are you saying that it is the right of a man to do as he wants because God has placed him to lead?
No, I didn't say so. I'm only saying that any house without a head will collapse.
Okay, how do you put it in context to what is going on now?
Yeah, with what you had it now, you had it that in that house, that Senate, there is a standing order which she flattered. How can anybody now support her? That's my question. Agbabio is the head of the Senate. She had to take decision to bring sanity into that house. Is that not what I said here?
All right. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello. Esther, it's Tony Chukwudi from UK. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Esther, one question I have been trying to call you in other program to not ask you whether you speak Igbo fluently, but because your English is so lovely. So, Barrister Darlington, this evening, I'm sure by the time Esther will start reading the messages that people are, I'm sure you'll be shocked.
What will shock me? That have not shocked me. What are you setting me up? Allow them to do this instead of encouraging them.
I'm not encouraging them.
What would they say?
But Darlington, see, Barrister Darlington, see, the way many Nigerian men are treating women, they are treating women like an object.
I'm telling you.
We have to be honest.
I'm telling you.
Not in all cases.
I have a daughter.
Not in all cases.
I'm sure you have.
He said many. He didn't say all.
Many. I'm not saying all. Are treated, and that is the reason why the killing of women, our girls for all this nonsense ritual, because they feel that they are objects. They use them, they dump them. Do you know what started Me Too movement? It's something like this. Because they have been holding it. There are a lot of them. You can never see any woman that is in a high place today. They will say, do you know how many men he has slept with before getting there? And when you dig it through, it's true. So why is it that a Nigerian woman, a Nigerian girl cannot get to the top without a man harassing that person?
Exactly.
Why is it that we look our women and naked them? Some Nigerian men's eye are razor blade. They naked them while they are dressed. I mean, why is it like that? Now this woman is saying something. Why can't they come out and defend it? Why can't the Senate president? Is it are some people who knows about? Okay, what of the one that slapped him before? Why didn't he bring that woman to court?
Were you there?
But Barrister Darlington said the woman has married plenty husbands.
Were you there?
Okay, look at the accusation they are giving Natasha. Oh, there she has 6 children. If she wants 100 children with 1,000 men, those men she allowed them.
She had consensual relationship with them.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
So what are we not saying?
No, what you're saying is different from what he's saying.
What I'm saying, somebody that is saying that Senator Natasha, and they're just calling her name Natasha. She's a senator, for crying out loud. They should address her with that title. Not degrading her by calling her Natasha.
So how about morality?
Thank you very much, sir. Let's take more
What is the
calls.
morality there? Why has she done wrong?
God almighty. Tony
So
Tonero.
she, no, to be honest, I don't. You are perfect, but today you remove the P from the perfect.
Yeah. must I be correct every time?
Thank you very much, Tony. I sincerely do appreciate you calling. Thank you so
Must I be
much.
correct every
All
time?
right. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Almighty.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Good evening.
Yes, good
My
evening.
name is Peter.
Your name is?
Peter.
Peter,
Sorry
please.
for moving.
All right, Peter, go ahead.
Okay. I want to greet Barrister Darlington.
Well done, my brother. Well done.
So I want to just put part in the market closing on Onitsha.
Hello?
I said I want
Your
to,
voice is very low, Peter.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing you. Let him continue.
Okay. I said I want to put part in the market closing on Onitsha.
Okay.
So I believe that those drugs, almost 80% of them are imported. And I believe that that 80% of those who are imported are come through the work. And there are people checkmating it over there. So what I want to say is that because before those drugs come inside the market, it must come through those places. What about those customs taking it over there? Because I have been into the market before.
Okay.
Sometimes over the day, you will see some custom use their motor to bring drugs inside the market during midnight. So those things, something like this, you have to start from the head to checkmate it, so that we will not make this mistake again.
Thank you very much.
This woman is working now.
Okay. All right.
That's
Thank
my
you.
own point there.
Thank you. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. How are you?
Yes, good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir.
This is Prince Akwachi. Good evening, Barrister Darlington.
My prince, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. See, me. I said I wouldn't be coming out for politics. Now you guys are dragging me out for politics.
Sorry.
You must talk.
Yeah. For me, just a quick one. We in diaspora, we don't like, when women are being harassed. And the thing is this: most Nigerians don't even know the difference between harassment and rape. Okay, some people are confusing harassment to be rape.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just anything, any attitude exhibited that makes the other person uncomfortable.
Thank you very much.
It could be a male, it could be a female. But now, most people are judging her to the extent that I heard the deputy Senate whip talking about how she married so many men.
Exactly.
Is that what we are talking about?
It's sad, actually. It's really sad.
To say the fact, the Senate shame, they shame me. The Senate shame, they shame me. It could have been just an investigation.
Exactly.
And let them do it. That's all.
That's all.
That's
all. Just pretend. All. Just pretend to investigate at least.
Yes. Yes. I just rest my case. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much, Prince Akwachi.
Thank you.
Thank you. President Darlington, that's what I was just saying. They could have pretended. That is a very huge allegation. And you don't make it seem as if it's irrelevant.
Because the allegation is...
The judgment they gave is on that.
Hold on. It was out of time. She should have done it ab initio. Before every other thing. She should have done it.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Thank you very much.
What's your name, sir?
My name is... I'm calling you from Ojo.
All right, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I want to condemn in totality all that happened today in the Senate.
Okay.
Concerning Natasha. Because from what did occur today, it is just a pointer to the fact that majority of those who agreed to Natasha to be suspended, possibly or allegedly are guilty of the same offense to other women. Will they now? Can they imagine their wife to be harassed in the same way? How would they feel? So it is just a signature to the fact that there are a lot of ignominy and atrocities that is happening. Because we can't imagine our senator to be suspending that lady because she spoke out. And it is
took away her salary, took away her security, closed off her offices. She's not meant to come near the Senate for 6 months without even trying to look into what she's alleging.
I'm telling you, it is a great shame. How would the world be looking at Nigeria today? In the international world, women are not treated this way.
And to make it worse, is the person that they accused that was handing down the gavel.
Yes,
at least they could have given someone else to drop down that gavel. Barrister, this is what you are supporting.
Yes,
He's the head of the Senate.
Okay.
Who would have done it for him?
Go ahead, sir.
It's a great shame, sir. It's a great shame, sir.
Thank you very much. Let's take other calls. All right. Thank you. All right. Joval. Hello. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. How are you?
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. What's your name?
Good evening, Esther. My name is Sulaiman. I'm calling from Ketu.
Sulaiman, how is Ketu today, sir?
Ketu is very fine.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Quick one. You know, I'm afraid of this country. Reason is that, you see, because sometimes I worried. Because for me, Mr. Barrister Danity is somebody that I respect so much. I can tell you that, and seriously, in fact, I don't even like to miss his program Thursday, Monday and Thursday. I swear to Almighty God. Okay. But this evening, I am just surprised when I'm hearing that I try to boycott this program, but I say no, let me still stay, because seriously, this thing is very glaring. We call this Senate. I'm telling you, now, you more than this now. I swear to God, I'm telling you, because if they ask me now,
allegation, no. It's an allegation. Nothing has been proven.
But it's an allegation. Why can't them investigate it?
Why? The court is there now. Let them move to court. Let them move the matter to court.
All I know is that if you any judgment that you do it today, if you do it, either you do it well or not, God is there. That God is take the final.
There's no problem.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. The number to call is 08036929933. We actually discussed quite a lot of issues. Natasha Akpoti, the former Minister of Women Affairs. We discussed the unfreezing of funds being mandated by the United States Supreme Court to Donald Trump's administration on USAID funding that they had paused for a while now. And we also discussed on the political front, Chief Bode George actually stating that Atiku will be selfish to want to come out and declare his intention for 2027. And if Peter Obi intends to win, he should join the People's Democratic Party. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
How are you?
Very well, ma'am.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Joseph.
Joseph, where's your location?
I'm Wonderful.
All right, Joseph, please go ahead.
Yeah. The fact is that I'm personally about Barrister Danity.
Okay.
Yeah, because if things happen like this, it is not just the best way to treat this issue. The fact that Natasha is a senator herself does not make any of them. That Akpabio is the Senate president does not make him. He would have even appealed himself from that. He shouldn't have been the person to even stay there. I think he has a deputy Senate leader or whatever. This is just the way this country is being run. I'm disappointed about it, because from other radio stations where I hear you and other things,
Well, maybe Barrister Dante is speaking from experience, and it's his experience that forms his reaction.
No, but we are talking. Look, all these things have not been. Yes.
Even with this, when you speak with this man in 104.7 radio,
The blessed one.
The blessed from that time I've been following you.
All right, sir. Let's take other calls, okay? Thank you so much.
Hello,
good evening. How are you? Hello.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, good evening.
Good
Hi,
evening.
sir.
Yes.
What's your name, sir?
Yeah. I'm Jordan from Ova.
From Apapa. All right, go ahead, sir.
Barrister Darlington, you went below the belt today.
Are you serious? Can you imagine?
I used to look forward to your analysis every Monday and Thursday. But today I mean you're just a human, you're not perfect anyway. So I don't believe when judging people's matters we should bring issues of how many times they have been married, how many husbands they have. I don't believe. Let's just face the message. Let's just face the reality. If this man has had histories of having issues with women and stuff like that, I think he should be treated properly. The secondly, the issue that's actually making them suspend her, this same man is also faulty of such issues. The last time that they had
under Senator Saraki.
Yeah. Last time he was still on the floor members. He also had this issue whereby he was challenging someone Saraki about this thing. So it's just, and these people forget that the fact that they cannot be there forever. This just, in highest 10 years you are off. Babangida has come out today and apologized to the world. These are people that never thought that they were going to sit down one place and going to apologize to the world. Power is transit, like they said. APC will not be there forever.
Exactly.
Do you understand? That's what these people forget to understand.
All right,
and posterity will come to president tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Biko, what's your name?
Please, my name is Katipit Devo. I'm calling right now from heaven. Calling you from heaven.
I would like to be
How is God?
Mr. Kipitivu, go ahead.
Okay, heaven is okay. Barrister Darlington.
Yes. You
are playing the devil's advocate this night too.
I know, since you came from heaven.
But what happens is that it's people like that you are waiting in heaven because we are going to judge you. We will judge you mercilessly.
Are you serious?
No, but yes. No.
You are laughing. You can be sure that I will come and meet you there.
We are waiting for you. We are waiting for you.
No problem.
Me and the Yuri and the Gabriel and the Master, all of us are waiting for you.
No problem. Yes.
Please, let's call a spade a spade. What is wrong is wrong. Pastor, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Don't be offended, though.
That's why I'm here. I want to take all the postures. Don't worry yourself.
You can't see me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I met your wife and I harassed your wife and she tried to keep it to herself, maybe for some reasons best known to her, knowing the kind of person that I am, then at the time I did the same thing to her and she provoked based on the president that happened before, and she reported the case to you as a barrister. Will you tell her that she should go and sit down? Why didn't she report the case initially when it started to you? For kind of a barrister, the Senate asked this woman to go and write a petition at initial stage. Then now the woman wrote a petition now, and I think that she is dead on arrival. How? They didn't care to look at.
Mr. Kipitivu, let Barrister Darlington answer now. You should be asking questions. Barrister Darlington will respond.
I am done to respond.
You see, what you are saying, I will never take parts to take a decision in a matter that I'm not privy to.
He said if your wife is the one that is being harassed. by him, and what would be your reaction to it?
Your wife that I harassed. I harassed the way this woman has harassed. And she kept it to herself, but it isn't best known to her. Maybe she has known the kind of person that I am. All right? Then an incident then occurred between me and her again. Then she started to raise the case and report it to you. Barrister, will you say that because she's not report the case for you or to you at least last time when the thing happens, you will not look into the matter?
The answer is very simple. I will tell her to harass you back.
Okay, tell her to harass me back.
Yes, it's 1-1.
So now that this woman has started to harass your Senate president in Nigeria, so are you telling me now that this woman is doing the wrong thing?
She is laying allegation. I don't think this is harassment. She's laying allegation.
You don't think it's harassment?
No.
How? Okay, you don't think her own reaction is harassment?
Yes, it's allegation.
Okay, you'd have expected her to harass him back the way she harassed him.
That is so that I will now come into the matter.
Okay.
It's harassment.
All right, Mr. Keep it civil. I need to read messages. Thank you very much. He has answered your question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please kindly hold on. Let me take some messages. A lot of messages are coming in, so it will not be proper for me not to take them. All right, let me just take some messages and we'll go back to the calls. You see from Ijegun, good evening, VOP. I disagree with Barrister Darlington. If there is something between Akpabi and Natasha, we have heard from Natasha. Akpabi should talk his own. All these old men with Nokia torchlight under their trousers should respect themselves. All right, no wahala. Hello, Esther and fellow guests. I'm Andy from North Korea. I'm writing to express my curiosity. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you. You're over the case. Good evening, Esther. Anyone that is supporting Akpabio is as guilty as Akpabio. Trying to suppress Senator Natasha by every possible means is very bad and should be condemned by all. It's so shameful that the National Assembly is discussing of sexual harassment while Nigerians are dying in poverty and hunger. So sad and bad. From His Royal Highness B.C. Nwoko Inoshodi. Well done. Good evening, Esther and Darlington. Fellow Nigerians, this is what you get when only one man decides who will be in a certain position in the country. Natasha, the powers that be is dealing with you now, and I bet you no court in Nigeria will give you fair hearing as far as Tinubu is still remains a president. Natasha, either you beat them or you join them. What a pity. This is what you will always get when wrong people are in power. Well, all the blames goes to INEC and the judiciary. More is yet to come from APC government. APC may end democracy in Nigeria if not checkmated. Mayor from Ikotwigbe. I think it has to do with morals and what people consider to be priority when it comes to morality. Because I think no matter how bad the political party may be, there should be morals, there should be empathy, there should be fairness. Anyway, good evening, VOP. To my best understanding, I know too well that what Natasha said about Akpabio is true, but the way and the manner she presents it is not the best. There is no way she will wrongly accuse Akpabio of such sensitive allegation. She was intimidated and never gave an opportunity to present her evidence, and that's why senators stick on her abnormality in the house instead of sexual harassment. Ralph from Satellite Town. All right, good evening. The woman senator Akpatu's allegation, even if it's true, are distractions. The Senate has buried it because the interview recently granted by Senator Itagiwa showed that the allegations themselves are not unusual and unbecoming of amongst them the lawmakers. For us, they do help themselves emotionally to be able to make their kind of laws and carry their own kind of oversight functions. She only may have similarly spoke out, having been denied some privileges, including sitting position for refusing some overtures. Good evening, VOP crew, barrister and fans. In the ongoing brouhaha and razzmatazz in the Senate, it's essential that matters of this nature are handled with empathy, respect, and commitment to justice. Allegations of misconduct, especially in public office, deserve thorough investigation to ensure truth prevails while the dignity of all parties is preserved. In a democracy, every voice should be heard, and dialogue should be rooted in fairness and due process. Senate has done their worst today. Well, we're watching as the planet is listening. Comrade Abraham. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. I have always respected Barrister Darlington's judgment and analysis, but I'm not comfortable with his judgment on Natasha's case this evening. Adams Oluwatoyin from Ejigbo. All right, Adams. Barrister Darlington is a human being. He's not a god. Good evening, Esther. I am deeply disappointed with Barrister Darlington. That a lawyer is saying that a lady should stomach a vice and move on. What a thing to say to Fiakwa, Nemeka from Idimu. Okay, so as it is now, all the male senators will be avoiding Natasha. John from Ikeja. I'm very disappointed how Mr. Darlington approached this issue today. Must everybody be quiet? Good evening, VOP. It's like Mr. Darlington is speaking from experience, forgetting that this is not the first time the Senate President has been accused. Why don't the Senate President step aside and clear his name by Odaba? Good evening, Esther. Are we being emotional on this Natasha issue? Barrister has also given a superior argument on this. All right. Don't allow emotions override judgment. Emeka from Abison Estate. All right. Thank you very much. Esther, another person was killed yesterday night. The main target ran away with bullet wound while the innocent person beside him was hit and died instantly. Come and save my people here, Obiko. Okay, this person has been sending messages from Satellite Town that there have been consistent killings every day, and innocent people are being in the process, they are being eliminated because sometimes the victims are misidentified. Please, Lagos State government, police authorities, can you checkmate the situation in Satellite Town first stack? The cultists, please, if they are cultists, whatever it is that is ongoing, they are brutally killing people and it's happening in broad daylight. The residents are begging you to please help them in that community. Provide security for them. Young persons are being killed mercilessly, unnecessarily. Please, I beg you. This person has been sending the same message for the past 3 days now. He has been consistent. All right. Sister Esther, this barrister is 100% biased. I can't hire him as my lawyer. He is not objective. He seems to be a hater of women. Not only that, he can't manage issues objectively. Today. Barrister Darlington, make we hear word. No matter what, we all know the person of Senator Akpabi and the way you are vigorously defending him. You are no different from him.
Are you serious?
Esther, please just leave Barrister Darlington because he's part of the judiciary that has brought us into this mess. Onapoti will stand. Oh
my God.
Kama must get to Akpabio. Chibike from Festac. Chai, Barrister Darlington has disappointed many people this night,
No
including you, Esther Wachuku.
Are you serious?
Many people can't believe it. Onye catching Wachuku from Ajao Estate. Ha. I'm not disappointed because he's expressing the views of a couple of people. A couple of people are viewing it the same way. I'm just wanting us to have an objective view to the whole situation.
Is it a fact that God said all have sinned and come short of his glory? Is it a fact?
All right.
Who will stand if we begin to, check everybody? What I'm saying is that whatever happens, there are rules and procedure in obtaining justice, in following it. If you flout it, you have disabled your case. Don't tell me any other thing.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Good evening, Esther. Darlington is talking like a drunk tonight. His analysis doesn't represent a lawyer we used to know him to be, and it shows lack of sensitivity for women. So Natasha can't register her displeasure. He also claims something must have been going on between them. Does that neutralize her allegation? A rational being would have suggested that the allegation should have been investigated.
Did I say they should not?
Idimu.
Did I say they should not?
Good evening, Esther. I'm highly disappointed in your analyst tonight. I know if the woman is from the southeast, his view will be different. I don't think so today. So if the analyst's daughter is involved, this is what his judgment will be. You just had somebody ask a similar question and you heard his response.
Of course.
All right, Esther, your analyst is not your analyst is not being objective. We are talking of sexual harassment. Your analyst is talking about rules. It is shameful. Sam from Ojota. Please, I want to know if Nigerian Senate started to recognize the Nigerian Constitution to obey it. We have seen at different times when Nigerian courts at all levels, Nigerian government agencies, especially in this APC administration, have disobeyed court ruling and the Constitution. Today, the senator has been suspended for disobeying Senate rules and order. Now, what do we do to our government if they disobey the Constitution? Chiemere from Agbara. Very good question, Chiemere.
Take them to court.
Chairman Barrister Darlington says you should take government to court.
Yes.
Good evening, Esther. With what I heard from Barrister Darlington this evening, I think he's one of those men that believe that women should not make their voices heard in the public, even though they have been bullied and abused. So Natasha should just keep quiet. Is that what Barrister Darlington is saying this evening? I'm very disappointed. Idowu Henry from Ojo, Lagos. Barrister Darlington, they don't place you on the table. You are going to. Good evening, Esther. Natasha should succumb, apologize, and let's go. It's not today a man used to toast a woman. If she like, she agree. If she no like me, she forget them. No be by force. So which one is sexual harassment in a man toasting a woman? All of them are distracting us from the reality of what is happening in Nigeria. Esther, do you know that CBN has implemented the 100 naira charges on every transaction made on ATM machine? Oh, God! No! I know. I'm telling you. I've today. Oh, do me God, what's that? Oh, pay me, make a no life for you. So trust me, I know this government is killing Nigerians silently.
It's just 100.
Olatunji from Iyanupaja.
It's just 100 naira now.
But it's dying to say we should go to court in that case. Darlington, you are wrong as usual. Natasha's issue. Do you know what Order 10 means in the Senate? It means no matter what, even if she's being dragged on the floor, the House must stand still and listen to her. Yes. She was ignored. So, what are you saying? Okay. Natasha Akpoti might not be totally correct, but she's not absolutely incorrect. Olakule from Ekmeda. I am Achoba Solomon at Idimo. Esther, on the issue of Natasha and Akpoti, are you sure the person with you is the same Barrister Darlington? I seem to be dumbfounded by him saying she's not the first and all sorts, including saying something prompted Akpabio's aide to put what he put in the socials. The statement of "is she the only woman there" sounds so ridiculous. Anyways, Barrister Darlington is entitled to his opinion. This person now says, okay, good evening, VOP Queen Shakanade from Obala Oro. Your guest is being fooled. This is one of the end of the country. This guest, okay, this guest is being what a person. I want to listen. I will not listen to VOP anymore because of this man in the studio. Okay, calm down, please, calm down.
What if at the end of the day?
Yourself calmly,
if at the end of the day.
All right. Good evening, VOP. John from Isolo. We have Port Authority and Immigration. How are those fake draws coming to Nigeria? Barrister Darlington is not being sincere with Natasha's predicament. I don't know what women do to these old men. Chidi from First Up. Barrister Darlington got it wrong in my opinion. Natasha should not be looked down upon because she decided to work for her constituency. Rather, she should be encouraged. You don't expect her to be a lame duck. All right, Chidi from Ushudi. It's unfortunate that the Nigerian landscape has been covered by immorality and corruption. Akpabio would have shamefully resigned if he were in a sane country. Nigeria is an organic time bomb. Hashtag Evening Rush. Esther, your guest analyzed Natasha's matter with a deep-seated bias, brush, and grudge. How is he condemning her act as if he was privy to the events that led to her allegation of sexual harassment on Akpabio? Why didn't the committee take time to read and do due diligence on her petition? Why the rush? Why is your Darlington blaming her for being outspoken and committed to the legislative work she was elected by her people to do? Has the same Akpabio not harassed Ireti Kingibe before? Is Natasha the only woman in the house? Is a silly question. When Madam Nune of NDDC slapped the same Akpabio, was it the day she accused him of sexual harassment that the illicit act happened? The man there should be dispassionate and unbiased anytime he is guesting. All right. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. I am so surprised at Barrister Darlington's defense for this present Senate that is clearly not in the interest of Nigerians. Esther, please remind Darlington that this Akpabio has been slapped by a woman on account of the same sexual harassment claim before. From what I'm hearing this night, it means we shouldn't be blaming the opposition that have been flowing with the evil in National Assembly without speaking out as we have been criticizing them. Which decorum is he talking about? Remember the case of the immediate past Deputy Senate President who stormed the Senate with thugs, carried away the mace, and was later welcomed back by the same Senate to make the Deputy President. I beg, let's forget about the Senate and hope a morally constituted one. Comrade Godfrey from Surulere. All right, comrade. Good evening. Uju is unjustly treated by selective EFCC because she's an Igbo woman. Take it or leave it. Leo from Lagos. Well, she's still being investigated. John from Ijaniki, EFCC is just doing selective fighting, so I never take them serious. Senator Natasha's behavior in the Senate has been called into question. Her grandstanding and displaying immaturity as a first-time senator is expected that she would take time to learn the ropes and understand the intricacies of the chamber. Instead, she's been engaging in battles that appear to be already lost. Abidin from Bagada.
Exactly.
Good evening, Esther and Barrister. I'm utterly disappointed with Barrister's comment this evening. How can you say she should have stomached it? Remember, you have a wife and possibly female children. The measure you use for others is what will be used for you. What about Akpabio's antecedents? Anaklet Anibunwa from Alagbado. He's even saying that she should go and slog it out in court. And I ask, which court? The same court that handed Rivers State to Wike? You have forgotten that Akpabio is very close to Nyesom Wike. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. Nana from Okeafa. Every woman is approachable, including Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, and that's what Akpabio was alleged to have done, approach her. But the problem is his actions and reactions when she refused to give in. Denying her legislative duty and blocking her bills are the big issues for me. All right. Barrister Darlington, you sound so low today. Why? All right. Good evening. Thank you, Barrister, for saying the truth regarding the Natasha issue. God bless you, sir. You didn't put your name. Put your name now. It's not bad if you put your name. Everybody's opinion doesn't have to be the same, so nobody's going to criticize you. Good evening. Don't expect Barrister to be all supportive of Natasha. Let's not bring sentiments in our judgment. If Akpabio is guilty, he will face the law. Let's not judge it because of gender. Okay, I greet you, sir, Barrister Darlington, and my lady with a sweet and golden voice. Thank you very much, sir. With all that happened at the Senate, at the National Assembly, and your response this night shows that we have an assembly of sodomites. If Natasha has so many husbands, at least her constituency chose her. It's her private life, and as long as Wike remains in PDP, Honorable Mr. Peter Obi will be disgraced once again if he goes back to PDP. Esther, enjoy the rest of the night. Grandma Maggie. Thank you, Grandma Maggie. Good evening, Esther. This is surprise typing from Olodi Akpakpa. Esther, what part of the southeast are you from? Chai. Is this the matter that we had on the evening rush as hot topic? Good evening, VOP. Just to greet you people and appreciate your efforts. Thank you very much. God bless you. It go better since I was born, and things are getting worse every day by day. Nigeria. Sorry, my name is James Ikpe. Good evening, Esther. Please, are you sure it's Barrister Darlington that is in the studio with you? This Senator Natasha case that is as serious as this, and Barrister Darlington is trivializing it? How can the accused be the same person to judge the case filed against him? They should have at least pretended and followed due process and observed the rule of law. There was a nation. Solomon from Pangrove. That's exactly what I'm saying. They should have just pretended to try to investigate it and seem sane. Seem sane, at least.
The court told them to...
Which court? She had just told you that there is no subject, that the case in court is the case against the senator that says she's wearing transparent outfits and that she's walking seductively and naked. That case is not related to her sexual allegation against Senator Godswill Akpabio.
What they accuse her of, is it true?
What they accuse her of.
Is it true?
About her not respecting Senate standing rules.
No. Wearing a seductive dress in the Senate.
How can you say is it true?
Really?
How can you say is it true? Who is looking at her dress to know that it's that transparent? Have you seen all her outfits? She covers herself from head to toe.
Then where did the guy get the...
Barrister Darlington, if you see Senator Natasha, she dey dress like Hausa woman. She cover her veils head to toe. She makes that effort to cover herself every time. So where is the senator that took eye to be looking through her dress?
Maybe see something.
Is he waiting?
We'll find out.
Hey, also you're laughing.
We'll find out.
Barrister Darlington. Esther, does she have any evidence to prove her truth over Senate President Mr. Babu? Mr. Babu, okay. She said she has evidence. She brought the petition. She said she even resubmitted that petition when they turned it down. When they said it was dead on arrival, she resubmitted it in the Senate today. Good evening, Madam Moderator. I can see your guest is so biased in his judgment, and besides, with due respect, what is this coming out of his mouth is unfair. Samuel from Dokpemu. All right, Samuel, well done. Good evening, Madam Esther. What Barrister Darlington is trying to say about Senator Natasha is that she ought to have spoken out before her seat was changed. And then she'll be listened to as woman, but it was the other way around. So I support Barrister Darlington. Toyin from Ikeja. Well done, Toyin. Oga Darlington, you disappointed me on your analysis on Natasha case with Senate President Jerry from Ikeja. All right, thank you very much. Good evening, Esther Nwachukwu and Barrister Darlington. I'm very disappointed on your stand on Senator Natasha. You talked as if women are whores and are objects of no value, but to be subject to the control of men. Buhari's comment on his wife, she belongs to the kitchen. These are derogatory statements many Nigerian men utter against women. This is sad. He needs to understand just as a man has a right, same also with women, equal rights for everyone. No one is above the other. These women are helpmeets for men. Also, when representing public, a section of people, we need to respect that by respecting the people she's representing. Timmy from Ishaga. All right, Timmy. Good evening, Sister Esther. Please help me to tell Barrister Darlington that if I have not been listening to him before today, I will assume he has received brown envelope from Akpabio, or that he, Barrister, is among those men who does not have regard for women. He should also know that he's a father. When such happens to his girl child, he should accept it also. I am gift from Abuleba. Good evening, Barrister Darlington and Esther. Chai, it's not the real Darlington that is here today. Let's leave it like that. Chris from Ijibo. Good evening, Esther Machuku and Barrister Darlington. Please, Barrister, we are here saying the truth here in VOP. Please don't let your respect be down to us, because now you're talking like Peter Osifo. It's time to look you in a different way. Please be careful. Thanks, Pachibo from Ladipo.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm ashamed of Barrister Darlington this night. When the barrister says Natasha was wrong with the way she presented her case, I was waiting for the barrister to say the way she should have presented. Now that she's suspended, what happens to the sexual harassment case? Everything is turned down. They're not looking into it. This is Mama Day from Ushudi. They're not looking into it. Everything dead on arrival. No more looking into it. Good evening, Miss Esther and Barrister Darlington. I strongly agree with the notions of what Mr. Barrister Darlington is saying about federal government, saying about the arrest of Simon Ekpa and his followers for sponsoring terrorists in this nation. What of those in the north? Have they come to tell us who is sponsoring them once in a month? Those in the north, are they just playing us? May God continue to protect us. Peterson, what's your name? Peterson from Peterson Jr. Ajao Estate Airport Road. Okay, Peterson Jr. Well done. Good evening, Esther. Please, can you very much? Good evening, Esther Machuku and Barrister Darlington. I think I agree with Chief Olabode George, but if Peter Obi must triumph in PDP, he must have series of behind closed door meetings with the northern elites, because they have the numbers in their possession. Thank God they are divided already. However, Natasha's suspension, the outcome of the committee had been written before they even sat, meaning the committee were only acting on a script, because there was indication that Godswill Akpabio was allegedly constituted members of the committee by himself. Moreover, he should have stepped down from the seat as the Senate president. What else do you expect? Also, other women in the house cannot talk because they were instigated by Baba Shokwe. Crazy political godfathers. One of them is my blood sister. She will never go otherwise. But this is human being judgment. What about God's judgment that is superior? Mr. Ugumbi from Idimu. So, wow. Okay, this episode where you write, I'm just going to take a few. Chief Barrister Darlington. Okay, Barrister, you've been conferred. Chief Barrister Darlington, I greet you. So my own opinion there, where that guy, they ask why women. Yes, because women don't want to remove that bad attitude. Where is proof for the brain okay, I don't understand this right up. All right, I beg resend them. Make I be able to comprehensively read and well for you. Make I comprehend and read and well for you. Good evening, Esther and Barrister Darlington. The Supreme Court ruling against Rivers State to me was just a script from Tinubu and Wike, because they want to capture Rivers State, so they won't succeed. Nigerians know that Rivers case and the upcoming 2027 election was the reason why the incremental salaries, building of houses, and all. So all I will know is that. For Dele Faritimi, when Dele Faritimi exposed the judiciary, he was almost crucified for revealing the truth. Are some of his revelations not manifesting now? All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We need to wrap up. Your messages, Okpo, I've not been able to. Wow. I can't take all these messages. There are so plenty. It's already 2 minutes past 9 p.m. Barrister Darlington, what's your final take?
Yeah, my final take is that no two cases are the same. Maybe a layman can talk the way he wants to. I'm sure if we truly interrogate these legal issues, you will see how wrong you are. But that is the way it is. I am saying what I know. So if you are judging me by your own measurement, the question is, ask yourself, have you subjected everything to legal interrogation? The answer is no. So why are you talking like this? And you want me to follow you? I can't. I can't. That is the truth. So whenever issues arise, please look at it from the point of view of the real issues involved, not on your emotion. So every woman that now said sexual harassment will now say, why should I harass her? Is that what the law says?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we need to wrap up. But before I go, I want to say this to women who have actually experienced this, either in your office environment, in your whatever it is you're doing, harassment, like somebody said, is actually different from rape. But if somebody does something to you that is not with your consent, that you do not like, please speak up. If you consider whatever the person is doing to you inappropriate, and you consider it in such a manner that the person is impeding you access to something you consider is your right, please speak up. Don't mind what happened in the Senate. Always speak up, please. Someone will help you. All right, someone will help you. Just speak up. It's very, very important. Okay, for those of you going through issues like this, trust me, speak up. Regardless of how the society is, regardless of the societal structure, regardless of how things are. Because if this can happen to someone of affluence, who has money, who has a voice, what happens to you who is not up to her level, right? But please always speak up. It's very, very important. Thank you very much. My name is Esther Machiku. My guest this evening is Barrister Darlington Agumoah. Do have yourself a wonderful evening. See you tomorrow.